Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're still working on great philosophers and great thinkers of the antiquity. Some of the great thinkers, great minds who have helped to guide us on this journey. This is a journey, just graduating from visible range to invisible range, graduating from the flesh to the spirit, from the body to the soul, visible to invisible. We are now visible. We are in the visible school. Walking, and then we graduate from the visible to the invisible. So it's a process, and we want to understand the process. That's why we study all these great thinkers. They give us ideas how they walk through it, the best way to go through it successfully. This is all we want, nothing else. It's like school. Life is like a school. We just want to know how to graduate and proceed to the next school, from elementary to secondary school, from secondary education to university. That's all. From university, undergraduate to graduate. That's what life is. From the body to the soul. You graduate from the body, you go to the soul. You graduate from the visible school, you go to the invisible school. Visible range to the invisible range. Visible world to the invisible world. Body school to the soul school. Body life to the soul life. This should be clear to anybody who is intelligent. So this is all it is. We just managing, self-management, carrying ourselves through this visible range to the invisible range. That's all it is. Through this body life to the soul life, through this flesh life to the spirit life. And then we're getting guidance from those who have successfully walked through the path, and then they're taking us along to guide us along so that we can graduate successfully from the visible to the invisible. Okay? So in this regard, Confucius was the most distinguished scholar in China. And his greatest follower, arguably, is known as Mencius. I'm going to read Mencius to you right now so you can have a taste of the greatness of the teachings of Mencius. One of the greatest works of Mencius is called The New Mountain. I'm going to read to you The New Mountain. Mencius said, "The trees of the New Mountain were once beautiful. Being situated, however, in the borders of a large state, they were hewn down with axes and bills." They were hewn down with axes and bills. And could they retain their beauty? Could they retain their beauty? Still, through the activity of the vegetative life day and night, and the nourishing influence of the rain and dew, they were not without buds and sprouts springing forth. But then came the cattle and the goats, and browsed upon them. So these things is owing the bare and stripped appearance of the mountain. And when people now see it, they think it was never finely wooded. But is this the nature of the mountain? 2. And so also of what properly belongs to man. Mencius argues on. Shall it be said that the mind of any man was without benevolence and righteousness? The way in which a man loses his proper goodness of mind is like the way in which the trees are denuded by axes and bills. Hewn down day after day, can it, that is the mind, retain its beauty? Can it retain its beauty? It's been destroyed all day with axes and bills. But there is a development of his life day and night. And in the calm air of the morning, just between night and day, the mind feels in a degree those desires and aversions which are proper to humanity. But the feeling is not strong, and it is fettered and destroyed by what takes place during the day. This fettering, taking place again and again, the restorative influence of the night is not sufficient to preserve the proper goodness of the human mind. And when this proves insufficient for that purpose, the nature becomes not much different from that of irrational animals. And when people now see it, they think that it never had those powers which I assert. But does this condition represent the feelings proper to humanity? He answered with a question. 3. Therefore, if it receives its proper nourishment, I want you to highlight 3. I want you to highlight 3. I need you to do this for me. Mencius says, it declares in 3. Therefore, if it receives its proper nourishment, there is nothing in this world which will not grow. If it receives its proper nourishment, there is nothing which will not grow. And if it loses its proper nourishment, there is nothing which will not decay away. Highlight that. Proceed to 4. Highlight 3. 4. Confucius said, hold it fast, and it remains with you. Let it go, and you lose it. Its outgoing and incoming cannot be defined as a time or place. It is the mind of which this is said. So guys, this is a taste of Mencius. And if you want, I can give you another of his great reflective and contemplative essays. We'll look at that in the next video. Cheers.